Hello everyone, this is V and we are here for a let's play of Stellaris. Um, I have just made the Federation, fanatic xenophiles, pacifists. I have chosen these things, continental worlds. I have made them weak, quick learners, communal and charismatic, a little bit as you would expect from the Federation from Star Trek. Mammalian ship types, warp travel, red lasers, so the energy weapons and continental worlds. That's what we will be playing with. Now for this let's play we will take the standard settings since it's the first time, and I am going to only allow warp travel because yeah, I think that this would fit the narrative a little bit more. Iron Man mode will be switched on. This is my second game. The other game I have running I'm not recording, it's just to explore what is going on. So let's just jump right into things. If you want a more elaborate video on how to create a species, I will certainly make one later. For now, it's just important that we intend to just befriend aliens and form a federation. And everything we've done is chosen just for the role-playing aspect. So, in the eons since the first primitive human communities took shape on the grassy savannas of Earth, our civilization has spread and prospered. As we advanced through the technological ages, we also matured as a species. The violent and base impulses we inherited from our ancestors were done away with, and the global government was formed on the principles of peaceful coexistence. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Federation have finished development of the first warp drives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. And our ruler is Betty. So,
Peace be with
yeah,
you, Prime Minister.
the start of the game is always
Intelligence. You'll be sorry.
quite overwhelming for most people, so I think we should just start from the beginning and quickly go through the menus and see what we can do there. So this is the government. We have elections. This is not something we intend to do. More energy credits, edict cost reduction and increased edict duration. Now I have noticed that edicts are something that is quite difficult to enact because you really need those influence points for pretty much everything. For building outposts and upgrading colonies, so you rarely have excess of these, and using them for edicts is, well, not always easy, especially in the beginning of the game. So here's just a small overview of your empire effects. As you do quests and events happen, new modifiers will be added. We have an election in 5 years. We are pacifists, so we gain less influence from rivalries, less army damage and less war happiness, but we get more food, extra embassies. And we like aliens. So this is all good. Naval capacity, this is how many ships we can field. Edict costs reduced, etc, etc. This is the budget, income, expenses, special stuff. These are the policies. We will not go into this as it's mostly stuff that's already set as it should be set. You can change it, but well, it's more late game stuff. Resettlement, no, but migration is free. Yeah, see, this is all settled, well, set as it should be. First contact protocol, peaceful, and then you can do a empire-wide edicts here. But I have noticed that it's not really worth it. I'm not sure, but the 10% research speed compared to 0.8 influence, well, I don't think you should mess with this until you have a really firm grasp of the game. So that's pretty much the first step. Then the Empire, here you can see your worlds, what they produce, who is governing, leaders. These are scientists, and we can immediately see what the game has given us, plus 10% food. This is quite good, as we mostly want to fully populate our homeworld as fast as possible. We have, I think, 4 scientists. We have someone with anomaly discover chance. This is very, very good. Research speed plus 10%, that's also very good. Extra experience gain and extra research speed in particles, so that's all quite good. And there are no factions. This tab, you will not need it in the beginning of the game. It only surfaces when there are people in your empire that are malcontent or want something different. So contacts, here you will find your, well, diplomacy contacts and how they are acting towards you, so positive or negative, and the different species that live in your world. An easy overview. Not really a lot to do here at the moment. Ship design, here you can modify your ships. Once you get new technology, you can also put it on auto. The situation log, here you will see quests and victory conditions, so that's going to be useful. And then finally we get to technology, but before we get into that, we are going to take a look at our planet. So this is the planet screen, this is the total yield of the planet, and this is the planetary governor. As you can see, we get some bonuses from this. Each planet can also have edicts like attraction, infrastructure. This is quite interesting, but as I said, these influence points are really hard to get by, so for now we're not going to go into that. As you can see, this is the main hub, and the 4 adjacent tiles, if there are 4, get +1 to their yields of food, minerals and energy. What that is and does, I will go into that soon. These tiles are locked and need to be cleared before they can be worked. And well, that's pretty much it. You can see that these tiles have a natural yield, and you can click on them to build a building. If you do, then the tile will limit itself to only producing the yield of that building. So if I put the hydroponics farm here, then it will produce 3 food, not 3 food and 1 mineral. So we are going to upgrade this tile with a hydroponics farm, and then when it's done we will move this up over there, just to grow a little bit faster. As we get more pop, we will work more of these tiles. Now These icons represent science, but generally science is not something you need to focus on early game, as that will put you behind in the gathering of resources. So to get back to that, there is energy, which is your gold. Well, not really. It's kind of your gold, and you use it to pay upkeeps and to modify tiles, but you do not use it to buy ships and buildings. Minerals, you use this to buy buildings and ships, and it also is needed for ship maintenance. This is a very important resource. The energy, you can balance it out and it will be okay, but the minerals, it's very difficult to have too many of it. So yeah, that's quite important. And then influence. Influence is what you use to recruit leaders, to enact edicts, and most importantly, I think, because it happens the most often, to build outposts that give you extra territory and to upgrade colonies. So you will need a lot of this. Base gain is 3, and you get extra from tax and from setting people as rivals. But you can only do that once you met someone. Then there are the researches, physics, society and engineering. So this is pretty much what it says. It's text in that area. So society, for example, colony ships, etc. Whereas engineering gives you mining networks, and physics gives you physics labs and shields, etc. etc. Strategic resources, as in civilization, these don't show up before you have unlocked them. Once they are there, they can be used to make special units, buildings, etc. Directly controlled planets, this is the limit to how many planets you can control directly. If you go over the limit, you will pay penalties. That does not mean you can only have 5 planets, but that means that if you go beyond 5, you have to put them in a sector, which is basically the puppet state from civilization. So they do their own thing, and you can't choose what is built there, which is fine. And then the fleet size, the naval capacity. This increases with population and spaceports. So before we choose text, we'll take a short look at the starbase. So this is a spaceport. You can see here that modules can be added. This is like solar panels you can put onto them, or training facilities, and what it does is it makes spaceships. So that's pretty much all it does, to be honest. And that means we are almost ready to begin the game. So let's grab our science ship. We have extra anomaly discover chance, and we're gonna survey the entire solar system and see what's on all these planets. Starting with, we are even going to the moon. Should already know that by now. So we also have a construction ship. This is used to make mining stations and science stations. If we discover, for example, a resource on Mars, we will need to use the construction ship. And our fleet. We can already zoom out, and we are in a spiral arm, of course. And we will send the fleet to Alpha Centauri and then take a little look at all these other things. You won't see a lot because a science ship needs to investigate that, but at least we will know more or less what's there. And it is a tiny little bit safer. Okay, before we are ready to get going and unpause the game, we still have to choose our researches, and the opening researches I think are mostly the same. For example, here you will always here, you will always have this tech as an option, and I think I have only seen these 3 techs, so this is an opener that you can choose. Now you might be tempted to immediately go for the colony ships, but a colony ship is very expensive and it does not really do anything if you can't find a colonizable world. So I have chosen to go for planetary unification first, which is extra influence, which means that we can make an outpost sooner and claim territory if we really need to secure something, and then go for colony ships as a second or third option, because we will be using our minerals early on to increase our yields to make buildings, and well, the colony ship can wait. So let's go for this. Then physics-wise, there are a few options. The solar panels are an add-on for the star bases, and basically they mean that the starbase no longer pays upkeep, because it costs 3 and it will give you 3, so that's pretty good. The physics lab, well, early on you probably don't have the resources to build it, so we're gonna skip out on that. The deflectors are pretty good, but I don't really think that we need this early on, so we're gonna go for the solar panels, because that's an easy amount of energy credits that we can definitely use. And then finally we are going to select our engineering option. And here we're going for the mining network 2, which basically gives us more minerals. And as you know, if you have ever played StarCraft, we require more minerals, so that's pretty good. And we're on our way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the warp drive, it takes a little while to prepare a jump. So the ships are now getting ready to do that. Soon you will see them move. And we're only here just to take a quick peek. There we go. There's not really much to see here, but there are, well, several habitable worlds. Now this is something I didn't think of, but when you're not researching something, you are actually saving up the research, at least for a little while. I'm not sure what the limits are, but it's very conceivable that you can just go see what's around you and then later on select the appropriate research. You can even switch it now without losing this progress. So if we wanted to, we could go back and say, oh, I see a very habitable world here. I'm going to switch out the colony ships. We're not going to do that now, but you really could do that without too much problems. but yeah, that's a very interesting system. I have not seen a system with 3 habitable worlds before. And we have another habitable world here, although not really suited for us. Usually at this point you will see some space-faring organisms, and you might have to fight some.
Situation log updated.
We have finally encountered something. Yeah, and as you can see, their combat strength is much higher than ours, so we are not going to fight them. We're going to go on exploring. And since something has happened, we now get that in the situation log, and we can research these. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do them both. It will take 180 days, and while this is going, the society research is temporarily halted. Why so serious? And there is data aliens in the Sol system. I really hope they don't get hostile, but I don't think they will. And as you can see, these are like
Construction complete.
spaceborne life forms, which is quite interesting. So let's go see how the surveying is going. They have found several resources already on Juno, on Vesta, and on Uranus. That's good. We can make space stations there, and they will gather resources for us. So let's click our construction ship, and then we can either do it one by one, which we will do for now, but you can also do it for an entire system at the same time. It's pretty good. And it looks like we might be able to get a good number of colonies here. Continental world, tropical world, very interesting. Gamma aliens, we'll also research those. And all those researches will give us a number of quests. Okay, so this guy goes in there, and then the speed at which the population grows will be increasing. Though I really think this is actually going to be enough food, so this guy can grow there.
Hostile fleet engaged.
That is not good. We'll have to retreat as soon as possible. There we go. And they will have to go heal. Our science ship, yeah, exploring Jupiter and then Neptune. And as you can see, Pluto is not a planet. They really have to rub that in, don't they? very easy here to get this overview. Construction ship is
Special
done.
project complete.
That's quite good. And there is our mission. So, mining drone observation.
Situation log updated.
We have found mining drones, which is
Special project
interesting.
complete. Anomaly found.
We'll do this. Yeah. What drones are doing on Jupiter is a little bit of a mystery, and yeah, all these things will lead into quests, because that means that it's very likely that aliens have visited here, and they might still be around, or at least their remnants may be around, so a little interesting to discover. Spaceborne life forms, they don't seem hostiles. I'm going to be murdering them, at least not now. And yeah, our construction ship can get on with mining stations. We have a tree here on Ganymede, so that will be the next one we do. Actually, we should probably start with that. Sometimes the interface is not great. There is a lot of micromanagement going on, as you can see. There is at the moment not really much to do, but still you have to keep an eye on everything. This guy will be done in well, a year, something like that, and we are going to prep for that by building a power plant. That's going to be quite important. Fleets repairing, this costs minerals, as you can see, so for now we are not going to explore more. With the fleet at least, we're going to need science ships to explore, and they will automatically avoid aliens.
Situation log updated.
Okay, so these things are done. One moment. These things are done, and as you can see, we have stored research now. This is the research you get while finishing those projects. You get it back over time, so you don't have to worry about losing the research. At least that is what I think, though I'm not entirely sure it works like that. In any case, we are going to do this project again. We have to research these space amoeba. The drones. Is there anything left to receive these pings? Maybe missed for another time. So we can get the droning optimizations edict, but as I said, I'm not really interested in that, so I'm going to just do this.
Situation log updated.
And now we have to survey stuff, and then if we do that, we will get a significant quest reward, even though it doesn't say exactly what. But this will take a significant amount of time, as they are quite distant. Fleet is repaired, so that's good. They can stay in orbit for now until they are more powerful. Go. And yeah, basically it's a game of waiting for now
System survey complete.
until we have texts, until we have everything we need. We're going to solve this thing. And I want an extra science ship pretty soon, but it's at the moment too expensive. So I'm going to focus on just
Special
getting
project
the
complete.
minerals up and running first, and then we will see. This is some information about the space amoeba. Initially assumed to be young space amoeba, flagella do not seem to factor into the reproductive mechanism. So yeah, that's just cool. And this gives us a reward. So as you can see, we get 5% evasion. And this adds to our empire modifier, so all our ships get 5% extra evasion, which is really great. As soon as we have enough for another mining station, we are going to build that. So you can see these minerals are very, very rare. Well, it takes a long while to get them up and running, and if we don't invest now, everything is going to just take longer. So that's my rationalization for not immediately going for colony ships. A colony ship also costs 8 credits a month, I think, so it's definitely not the easiest thing to pay maintenance for. There we go. And it's quite pretty, even though if you zoom in too much, say on Jupiter, you will see that the textures are not perfect, but well, that's not all that important. So our energy building is complete, and as soon as this guy is born, we can start working there. Because that's how these things go. We found old drones, old probes. Okay, and no. We are done now, for now. So we can get back to researching. And I think we are going to stop here for now and go back next time. See you then.